Hi guys, welcome back. So today we have Maulik Patel from Studio Beunique from Ahmedabad. He is a gem of a person and an amazing photographer. He does weddings, he does fashion, he does commercial shoots as well. Moreover, he his gameplay is all about lights. Just we will be showcasing some of his pictures, and you'll be amazed to see the way he plays around with the lighting part. So yeah, over to you, Maulik.
Hello guys, it's really my pleasure to be here on a Photopedia, and I just thanks you Prashant, Mohit, Divyam, and like entire Photopedia team for gathering this thing in this lockdown period. And it's like from past 2 or 3 weeks, it's just crazy to like learn from it, best of the industry, best of the best persons, and know the insights of their business, know the insights of their work, like their mentality and everything. So it's thanks to you guys to putting this on this platform and make it very accessible and very easy to learn in this quarantine periods.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much, guys.
thank you, thank
Okay, so first thing first, I think this is my first public appearance as a photographer.
you.
Like most of the people know me from Studio Beunique, like Maulik Patel is there, but I am very less interactive and like introvert kind of personality that doesn't comes out and more live often and everything. So this is my actually first live session. So pardon me if I stumble about
That's
something.
totally fine. We have a lot
Yeah.
of love pouring in, from Art and Soul says hello, Maulik,
Hello,
Pratik,
guys.
Mahuk
Hello, hello,
Patel,
hello. Those who are watching,
Jignesh,
just thanks for joining
Himanshu.
in.
Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
so starting about my journey, I grew up in the like artistic background family because my grandfather was a writer, travel writer, and he got a Padma Shri award. So
Oh,
from very childhood, I grew up in the like art and literature background because people are gonna like our guest was also like from the art and literature background. So like I grew up in that background, and simultaneously education was a very important in my family surrounding. Like you have to complete your education properly and everything. So from very beginning, hobbies and educations are a very integral part of my life. So I was a bright student from very beginning. So and also from around 10 years of age, I started my first hobby as a keyboardist. Like I play piano. I learned around 7 years of keyboards,
wow,
and I used to play in fusion bands and rock bands before. So
nice.
like around 7 or 6 years, I learned it. But after that, the band members got scattered to the different countries, and unfortunately, and from that hobby, I got my first salary also. So that was kind of special for me.
Right.
Like like when you earn something on your 15, 16, or 17 years of age, that's quite special. Like whatever the amount it is, but it is very quite special for us. So that was the first hobby that converted a little into passion. Like as I was very much into music in my late school days, I uh, very fascinated about this DJing thing. So that was it was very new. So I tried my hands on DJ. I learned some softwares. I learned professional mixers under one the popular DJ in Ahmedabad. But again, as you know, Gujarat is a dry state and there is no party scenes here. So that type, I ended up playing in the small parties, small family gatherings and everything. But it didn't turn out very well. So I just quit immediately after 1 year. Yes, then I pursued after 12th. I pursued my engineering because as I said, education is very important in my surroundings. So I pursued my engineering. I completed my engineering throughout the 4 years, and I was a distinction pass out. So I was a bright student, and I'm not a dropout photographer. So yes, in between, I tried my hands on graphic designing because I was very much interested in the design part also. So I was planning to opt for the NID also after my engineering, but it didn't happen. But in the middle of the third year, I got my hands on a random bridge camera. Like my cousin got it from the USA, so I had that Sony HX1 bridge camera. So I usually used it for the family functions and everything. not much interested into using it the photography part. After after a few months of getting that camera, my friend showed me the manual mode in that camera because I wasn't aware about this manual mode and everything. So he showed me, यार देख इसमें तो ऐसे manual mode आता है ना, you will get a blur background and everything. So that time, like when you're learning photography, the first thing was very interesting to you is that blurred background you get, the bokeh you get.
Agreed.
So like, yeah. So first picture I got of the auxiliary cable, like एक छोटा सा auxiliary cable था, उसका मैंने एक picture लिया था with the blur background. So I got more like I got very interesting that यार ये सही है, इसको थोड़ा explore करना पड़ेगा. So I explored it on the YouTube, on the different channels and everything about the manual mode, but वो ISO aperture and shutter speed.
And when was this?
So it was in around 2012 or 13. 2012, yeah. So I need to learn about this manual mode thing. So in between, one of my friend, like my friend's friends, organized a small workshop in his college as a part of his college activity. So like cost of a workshop was a 50 rupees, and I attended that workshop, and I got to know so much about the manual mode and the ISO and the shutter speed, and then my basic fundamentals of photography clear at that time in that workshop. Then I randomly explored myself, just clicked everything and anything that any amateur photographer will do, the leaves and sunsets and
Right.
insects and everything, like portraits of friends and everything. So this is how my journey of photography started, and this is how I entered into field of the photography. So at that time, it was not also planned that I will pursue photography as a full time my passion. But as I say, how did I get into photography was by destiny, and of course by accident and by passion. So it's now my passion, and it goes on now.
That's great. My story is something similar. It was just by accident. Like I got, I used to sell albums, wedding albums. Like I have a family printing business, so I
Okay.
was marketing for these albums for this Gurgaon area. And from the first very salary, I was always a tech geek. मुझे ना हमेशा
Yeah.
टेक्नोलॉजी का बहुत शौक था ना. I never had a DSLR. So
Okay.
just to get a DSLR, जिस दिन मुझे मेरा first salary commission मिला, I went to the mall and I got a basic DSLR for myself. And
Okay.
that's how, एक tech geek के हाथ में जब ये खिलौना सा आ गया ना, I wanted to know anything in and out कि क्या था.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. So this is something, I am able to relate with very much.
Okay. So like initially, I didn't have a proper DSLR camera because I was shooting with this HX1 bridge
Right.
camera only because there was no plan to get into the photography career. So I didn't invested in much in the camera and everything. So I was quite happy with the result of the HX1. So in between, in 2013, there was a competition named Ahmedabad Archives. So their main motto is to archive images of the Ahmedabad of between 2013 to 2014. So like everybody can submit their images about the Ahmedabad and the heritage sites and everything.
Right.
At that time, I used to go for a photo walks on the Sunday and capture the old city parts and everything. So I want to share a screen with this thing. Just a
Definitely.
second.
So by the time Maulik is sharing, Mohit, how did you came into photography?
So basically, it was like I was going through a depression, same thing, and I just picked up like I need to do something different. So I picked up the camera and start exploring it out. तो वही होता है ना जब geek के पास एक कैमरा आया था, you need to explore things.
You are already from an engineering background, na?
Yep, same.
Right.
Yeah, all are engineers.
No, I'm a commerce background. That's why I was into sales first.
Nice. Okay, so as I told you, how did I get into photography is by destiny, by accident, and by passion. So at that time in the competition, I clicked. Can you see my slides, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Okay, so this is the photograph I captured. So this is a typical old market of Ahmedabad during the like Diwali time. So it was like captured from the little bit height of Teen Darwaza. It's a very famous monument here. It's a line of a rickshaw just breaking out the thing, and that photograph was a winning photograph of that competition, and I got a first prize of rupees 25,000 cash. So
Wow.
it was a basically funding and a motivation and a turning point for my photography career. So on that day I decided that I wanted to do something in the photographic field. And after a week I got my savings and got my 25,000 rupees, and I got my first camera, Canon 60D, and the journey begins from here only.
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So this is how I developed my style. We can talk about how I developed my style during this entire 7 years of journey. We can talk about it. Like I am very कहते हैं ना कि वो कीड़ा होता है, ऐसा है मेरे में. So I never stop learning about anything. Like till today, I also spend 1 to 2 hours on the YouTube, on any learning channels and everything, and I learn new things for the related to photography, related to anything. Like the learning is a main integral part of my entire journey. So like keep exploring, learning, and keep it very consistent in this thing, because on a span of 7 years of time I never felt कि यार बस ये नहीं करना है यार, इसमें नहीं मजा आ रहा है. So like you have to be a consistent. If you pursuing something, you have to consistent for a year. So then only it become a very integral part of your life.
Like when Nikhil also, like Nikhil Ayoda from Delhi, he also mentioned in his like very first session of Photopedia that consistency is the key.
Yeah,
For anything, a person has to be consistent to learn something. कंसिस्टेंसी
exactly.
नहीं
Yeah,
होगी तो वो बंदा एक्सपर्टीज में नहीं पहुंच पाएगा.
नहीं पहुंच पाएगा. Yes,
Right.
true, true.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
so like to learn, and consistency is the basic keys of my photography. If you ask how I developed myself over the years, so I learned a lots of lighting techniques from YouTube. I learned a lots of camera techniques from YouTube. I learned about the gears and this and that. As you told, I am also a gear freak and I am a Apple fanboy. So like gears and gadgets always fascinated me
Fascinating.
in. So I love cameras, I love collecting lenses, and I love collecting gadgets and everything. So I learned from the YouTube. Basically I'm a self-taught photographer, so only the basics I attended in the
Hmm.
workshops and everything, but the rest of all
Rest all
things
is
I
YouTube.
am self-taught.
Thanks to YouTube.
Yeah, thanks to YouTube actually.
Sorting the
Thanks to
lights out.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube and so
Perfect.
how did I get into wedding photography? That is another story. Like when I entered into field of the photography, I captured my friends and families and everything. So it was a part of my life now. But wedding photography wasn't never planned, because वो हमेशा से मुझे लगता था कि नहीं यार ये बहुत hard field है. I should avoid it. I will get into the fashion. I get into the commercial and everything, but wedding photography was a never planned. But after a few years of my photography, one of my friend was getting engaged. तो उसने बोला चलना यार हम लोग चल के आते हैं, उसके तो 2-3 पिक्चर्स अच्छे खींच लेना, लाइक इज वेरी my best friend, and we will go. So like, I was not a primary photographer there. There was another team was capturing this whole event, and I was just there with my camera and a 50 lens. So I was very nervous about that time, and what to capture, what not to capture. I was
कुछ
totally
आइडिया नहीं
blank
था.
about that. After that ring ceremony happened, I just clicked one picture only from that ring ceremony, and that's it. They liked a lot, and even see like I want to share a picture again.
Definitely,
Yeah, just a
definitely,
second. Yeah,
definitely.
you can see right.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah, so this is a picture I got. Like you can see my old watermark here, Maulik photography.
Right.
Yes. So this is how this is my first official event as a wedding photographer. You can tell.
That's great.
So after this year, I joined one small company, like a local company here in Ahmedabad, and I worked as a freelancer for 1 or 2 weddings with them, to see how this wedding photography industry works, like how they hire people, how they
Hmm.
deliver to clients, how they deal with clients,
Hmm.
how to act on a field and everything. So it was a very small company, small studio kind of thing. I worked 1 or 2 weddings with them, and I just figured out all the things, how these things work. And from at the end of that year, I around 2014, I started my own wedding photography company named Studio. So there is no proper logic behind the name because when I was shooting, as I told you, when I was shooting the sunsets and everything, I used to quote my pictures. So on one day, I just captured my silhouette thing on the terrace, and I just randomly entered the code "Be Unique," and like it stick with me, and it's a
Yeah.
like a kind of emotional
From
thing for
then
me. So
on,
there is no logic behind the name of Studio Unique, but we have to justify the name right now.
but that's a great name along with some great work that you've been doing till now. So, okay, so we got to know how you came into wedding photography, and now talking about Studio Be Unique, I would like to ask you what is the main USP of Studio Be Unique? What you play around with, how you get your ace clients, and yeah.
Okay. So like initially my clients were like the close friends and everyone, like the one the one your brothers friends and everything. So that was our initial client base. So to be very honest, I learned a lot with my mistakes only because there was no one to guide me to mentor me during that time when I started wedding photography. At that time, this Instagram thing and this Facebook thing was not there like 4 or 5 or 7 years back. So like there is no one कोई था नहीं कि जो मुझे गाइड कर सके कि भाई तू ऐसा कर भाई तू ऐसा कर
Huh,
you have to hire this you have to hire.
huh,
So I just figure out the things on my own and I will share a funny incident. Like एक wedding हमने किया था. So the wedding was a nice. We covered it completely and everything. So when we delivered the album, uh, like client said यार ये बहुत blur album है. It's a very blur like बहुत blur दिख रहा है. So I don't know why the reason behind because screen पे वो complete दिख रहा था और जब print में डाला तो it was a very blurred picture. So then we reprinted the album and the same thing happened. एल्बम ने फिर क्लाइंट ने फिर से एल्बम रिजेक्ट कर दिया कि यार ये नहीं चलेगा इट्स वेरी ब्लड सो देन आई आस्क्ड माय प्रिंटर व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम they said this is made in a 72 dpi that's why your entire picture is blurred so like this is how from the small mistakes from the small errors small complaints from the clients we evolved year by year we analyze what client wants यूजली क्लाइंट्स की कंप्लेंट क्या रहती है कि भाई हमको 1 साल से फोटोज नहीं मिले 6 महीने हो गए हमको ये नहीं मिला वो नहीं मिला so we usually right now we are trying to short down our delivery time to the 1 month to the 2 months and like we are more trying to deliver in the 3 weeks of time so this is
nice.
how our main trying to develop our main USP to cut down the delivery time and for this your entire team have to work very hard in this because it's not the thing of alone because editing designing everything you need to come together and you have to work hard so I would say this is our main USP to deliver the photos fast because this year like ये pandemic की वजह से हम लोग थोड़ा एक दो weddings में delay हो गए because data is not easily accessible from the
Hmm.
office but usually this year's wedding are almost delivered in the photos and videos are going on so we try to deliver as fast as we can and this like this compliments we get so much that ये लोग तो बहुत fast photos deliver कर देते हैं so this is right now our main USP to deliver fast because it's very important for the client also
Yeah, there's so much hidden talent in Surat Ahmedabad. What to tell you? बहुत ज़्यादा, काफी ज़्यादा है. ठीक है. Okay, Mohit, would you like to take up the next question?
Yeah, but I want to tell one thing here. Just मौलिक ने जैसे अभी बिल्कुल बोला कि you can learn from your clients, right?
Yeah.
आप जो मिस्टेक कर रहे हो वो आपके clients के feedback में ही है. So
हाँ.
just analyze them and it will help you grow a lot. So this is
Yeah.
very important which people don't think about. They always think कि यार client complain कर रहा है, but
Yeah, of
they
course.
don't think about कि वो problems क्या हैं, how can we rectify it because it helps you to grow more.
Over
Actually.
the years, you will realize that you need to see your work from the client's perspective.
Exactly.
Like, right? You have to analyze the client before, what is important for that particular client. उसके लिए उसके family pictures important है, do that first. उसके लिए उसके portraits वो important है, do that first. उसके लिए कुछ और चीज important नहीं होगी, do not make so much effort into it. Just try to convince कि ये हम कर सकते हैं. But don't force them to make them because it will make no impact on that result part. So understand your client, understand your past clients, take their feedbacks, take the negative feedbacks also, and just try to improve gathering these all things and analyzing all these things.
Malik, if I may ask, how many weddings do you do in a year?
Yeah. So last year we did around 24 weddings. We keep it around 20 to 24, but it depends always. But not more than 25 we are targeting right now,
Huh,
and we may shoot lesser wedding if we get the content weddings next year.
right.
So it depends now because next year is very uncertain for all of us.
Exactly.
So let's see what will happen.
Some people are joking on the YouTube. They're saying that what's the energy of Maulik?
What's the reason behind the energy level?
It's a gem.
It's a secret inside your water bottle.
So, yeah, you can continue.
Yes, yes.
So basically, we have seen a lot of posts regarding your team, like you treat your team as a family. So can you just explain us a little about your team management, how you do it?
Team
and
building
everything?
and maintaining it. Yeah.
Sure, I can. So, like over the years, I worked with so many freelancers, like from the traditional photographers, traditional videographers, from the editing guys and everything. So, I worked around hundreds and hundreds of freelancers over the years. So, I filtered from that freelancers, one of the best, whom I comfortable with working. I know, like first thing I see in any freelancers is their passion to work. Like because आज क्या होता है कि कोई भी freelancers आता है काम करके चला जाता है, but it's not like that. You have to give your extra efforts to the team which are hiring you. So I always see the passion for that thing, that how much they are giving extra apart from the photography. Their personal appearance also matters to me, and this is how I filtered my team, depending on the passion, depending on the style they are working, because each of my team member have a different style of working. Like I am doing the portraits, the another one photographer Ayush is specialized in a documentary kind of photography. The another team members is specialized in like family portraits and posing and everything. So like, this is how I segregate my team that completes the entire package for the client. So it's a whole experience we can create for the client. So like जब वो portraits से क्या होता है, like only I am in the action, like तब आयुष कुछ नहीं करेगा. When the family like vida is happening, when moments is happening, I will be the one who is shooting from far, or not shooting anything, because I'm not much into that moments wala zone, or like memories, like I'm not a that wala zone. Like I shoot from far also. Like I am a 85 and a 90%. You will very rarely see shooting me on a 35 or 20 or 24, like unless I am shooting on a double body. So like talking about the team, I filtered on some basic criteria basis, from the passions, from their personal appearance. Like some of them are from the small town, from this Gujarat. So I'm very fortunate to have them and groom over the years. Like when they come, they were just a normal photographers, and they are now appearing as a individual artist. So I always give them a creative freedom to work. So on field, I never, like I am a very cool boss kind of thing. I cannot be a boss actually. So yes, right now I am learning a lot more things about leadership. But as I told, I learned a lot with my mistakes, my past things, and everything. So same things goes with the team building. I worked with a lot of people, and the one I like, I chose it from for my permanent team. So like right now we are a team of 10 members right now in house. So like from the photo editors, video editors, retouchers, and production manager and everything. So this is how we work on a single office. We work together, we eat together, and we learn together.
Great. Yeah, that's really great insights about how things work at Studio Be Unique with such a big team of 10 people in there. Okay. So coming to our next question, how much do you pre-plan for your couple shoots?
To be very honest, I'm not a kind of a guy who pre-plans everything, because I'm kind of lazy. To be very honest, like मैं बहुत pre-plan नहीं करता हूँ मेरे shoots, मैं mood boards नहीं बनाता हूँ. Like I only make mood boards for the clothing thing,
Right.
to give a reference of a clothes. I do research on my own, like I do research for the location thing. I do research for the references and everything, but I don't share my mood boards to client, बिकॉज कभी कभी मूड बोर्ड से मैं भी थोड़ा बाउंड हो जाता हूँ क्रिएटिवली कि यार ये जोन में ही जाना है, ये जोन में ही जाना है. सो आई कीप माई सेल्फ be free. But this is again my point of view, my kind of working style. So I usually don't pre-plan the shoots much, but yes, for the portraits and everything on location, I scout a lot. I scout 15 to 20 minutes before I reach the location. I check the frames with the different lenses. I decide my lighting. I check my lights, so everything will be go smooth, because like we will get only 15 to 20 minutes to get a portrait done. So sometimes less than that.
Yeah.
So I make sure I am ready for my shot, my visualized shot. So in pre-planning terms, I don't pre-plan much. I only prepare myself to get it right.
Perfect. So yeah,
So,
when the couple
Maulik,
arrives, yeah, please.
basically, how you try to keep yourself a little different from different brand? Because if you talk about Gujarat, so many people are there. So, how you try to keep yourself as a like different from other brands in working in Gujarat or all over the country?
Okay, so as I as we defined our brand is in terms of adjectives, we are very selective for our work also, and for our anything you say, like for our works, our client, we are very selective in works. Like we don't usually we don't work for only for money, only for business. Like we like to interact our clients a lot. Like our clients are like just like our friends. We do shishas over the office and everything. So like we like to be a selective in every manner. So like also in the work, I try to give them a very different taste in terms of lighting, in terms of framing, in terms of everything. Like whole experience, we try to make it very very different from other photographers. Like we are not a team that just come to your place, just shoot khatam kiya aur chale gaye. We want to keep you in our loop after the your wedding is over, and this is how you give your client a good experience, and they will remember for you for years.
So that's what defines be unique.
Yeah.
To make that experience worthwhile, I think the team is the one who contributes a lot. So, how you guys basically coordinate with each other in terms of learning from your perspective, from a team perspective, how you guys learn together, how you guys deliver together? Can you give us an insight?
Okay, so we have a particular task assigned to each member. So, like, if somebody is doing a photography, so photography and editing are combined. Like, the one who photograph will edit his or his or her side. So, like, it's a very easy task in the culling also, and he will know that ये shots मैंने किस perspective से लिया है, and how why I want this in the whole set. So we try to shoot and edit on location also. Sometimes we deliver 200, 250 photographs after the wedding is done. Like very next day, we deliver 200, 250
Wow,
key photographs.
that's great.
Yeah. So this is तब जो client के चेहरे पे जो खुशी होती है ना, that's a priceless. So it's a very important to know your workflow first, like how you work. Like हम लोग on location backups देते हैं. So data management and the social media is my part. So I do not trust anyone in terms of data management. So I copy entire data. I take the double backups and everything. I keep the actual sheet tracks of the data and everything. And the social media page, this is my criteria of job. And client handling is done by my production manager. So when any inquiry comes, it directly goes to my production manager. He will take a call. He will take a brief with the client. He will take the initial meetings and everything, and then I will do the another meeting with the client, and will know their taste and everything, and then how it goes in the pre-production. Then we will shoot at the wedding. You ideally we shoot any normal wedding with the three photographers, three cinematographers, ideally, or maximum to the four photographers and four cinematographers. So like we have a assigned, as I told you, we have a assigned style and assigned speciality of each artist. So we know our zone, what to capture, what not to capture, what he will capture, what I will capture. So we just understand with the contact of eye. Like मुझे पता है कि वो आयुष कर ही लेगा, तो like I will just assign him. Okay, he will do it. So like on field, it will be more convenient and easy to
Right.
work if you work with the same amount, same team. So it will be more easier to work and more easy to communicate also. Same as a cinematographers, we do not have a in-house cinematographers as of now. Like only one cinematographer we have in-house, but we have a fixed freelancers who are working with us in all weddings. So we have a fixed team. So in that terms also वो communication बहुत easy हो जाता है कि भाई वही लोग shoot करने आने वाले हैं. They got to know the clients, they got to know the other team members and everything. So yes, this is on-field thing, and after post-processing, editors will do the photography, photo editing, and culling and everything, and upload it, and then I will check the entire set and will share it to the client. Same thing happen with the video also, and also we take inputs from the clients that they need to change something, they need to change any songs and particular things and everything. So how this is how things goes uh, in the post-production also.
So, are the photographers and editors the same in your company? Like few
So
of
we
them
have two photographers and editors are the same, and the two editors are the separate who
separately.
works only as editor,
That's
because
how you are able
like
to
when
keep.
like when you're traveling, you are not able to edit and photograph at the same time. So we have two editors in house who works all the time at the
Full-fledged on
office.
edits. That's great.
Yeah.
So Maulik has lots of uh, things in his folio. He's a DJ. He's everything, right? So इतने talents होने के बाद भी so many of like we artists lack this thing called marketing. काम आता है, but we are not able to market it very well. So how can a person market his work better?
Okay, so marketing, initially I was very weak in this terms because over the years I developed my marketing skill. But our major business comes from Instagram. So as you see, my Instagram is very selective. I do not post anything and everything that comes into our portfolio and everything. So I am very selective about my Instagram profile, and I'm very possessive about my Instagram profile actually. So uh, yes, so your social media is very important these days for the marketing. Your websites, your social media, your blog posts, and anything comes to like your majority clients are there only right now,
Hmm.
because abhi portals aa gaye, so clients will surf on you on the portals and everything, and they will compare to 10 other photographers, they will compare 10 other pricing and everything. So social media is a basic thing right now, I can say, for your market. Another thing is your performance on field. After some client is hiring you, how is your performance? How is your appearance on field?
Hmm.
How attentive you are, like how well dressed you are on the field. We have a rule in our studio that you have to be a nicely dressed if you are going for a shoot. Any small shoot, any big shoot, anything. Like we have a dress code for each event. You have to dress nicely anytime. So like it's a very important part that so many people are missing. Like it's a
Agreed.
very small thing, but it
Impacts a
impacts the
lot.
client a lot. Yeah, it
Impacts
impacts
a
the
lot.
client a lot. So on field performance, how is your performance, your work quality, and your service? Your service is also a part of a marketing, because when you are giving a good service to your existing client, they will automatically convert it into your marketing tool, right? Your old clients are your biggest marketing associates,
Great. That's
that I believe.
really good.
So about like 70% work is after 4 or 5 years, 70% of your work will come from your
Hmm.
old clients, friends of clients, cousins of clients, and everything. So you have to be a consistent, and you have to grow in this service part also. So that is very important in marketing, because every time getting a new client, every time understanding a new client is a very difficult. When you are shooting in the same family, it's very easy for them also to hire you, because पता है कि यार चलो ये लोगों का काम मुझे पता है, काम की स्टाइल पता है, ये लोग आएंगे शूट करेंगे. They are worry free also. So every time shooting for old client is very important, and to treat them right, to give a consistent service is it's a very important part. So this I believe it's a majority marketing part when you're trying to get a recurring work from a same client.
I
This is a very
agree.
important part people are missing sometimes.
ये आई एग्री ऑन दिस पॉइंट कि क्लाइंट के आउटलुक से देखा जाए तो क्लाइंट को चाहिए जब ही इज डूइंग ऑल दीज वेडिंग्स एट लार्ज ही वांट्स एवरीथिंग टू बी एज ही वांट्स द अपीयरेंस ऑफ ऑल हिज वेंडर्स नॉट ओनली द फोटोग्राफी ही वांट्स एवरीथिंग टू बी गुड कि हर चीज अच्छी
Yes,
लगनी चाहिए
yes,
because
yes.
it's a one and only a lifetime moment. So, and we make sure about that too. And I seen this thing personally that लोग आके ना तारीफ करते हैं. People
Yes, exactly,
लोग बात
exactly.
करते हैं कि यार टीम बहुत अच्छी थी, टीम बड़ी
Yes.
वेट भी थी and that makes you also internally happy.
And they personally respects you on this term. कोई
Agreed.
आके आपको ये नहीं बोलेगा, when you are well dressed, कोई आके आपको ये नहीं बोलेगा
कि
अरे भाई
हाँ,
फोटो
photo
खींचना.
खींचना.
They will ask you, excuse me, can you take one picture? So this is a make difference of this small appearance of yourself. This is very important part that many of wedding photographers are missing on some level.
Mohit, I think you're on mute. Yeah. Mohit, would you like to take over?
Yeah, so Maulik, the thing is, behind everything, like when we do something, there's a learning behind it, right?
Yes.
And you learn together. You never learn alone. So how
Yes.
you guys learn together as a team?
So we usually have a WhatsApp group on with our team. So we usually share links about the fellow photographers, like from fellow blogs and everything. So we usually keep sharing good articles, good videos, good learning process and everything. And we recently started. We consulted a brand consultant also with my friend, and we try to engage them in various activities. Creative activities, because this lockdown time everyone is free and this is the best time to push up your team in terms of emotionally and also the creativity. So we are gathering we do Zoom calls every other day and we take everybody's input. What should be next? We do what creative process we can do. So right now we are doing some creative process to enhance their creativity, reading, painting, and everything. So I got to know the specialty of each one. That this guy is best in this, so I can push him towards that direction. That is very important to push your team in different directions. So it create a whole one simple package.
So when we talk about team, so there are a lot of things like there are differences in the team. There are a lot of things which happen. So how you manage those aspects of the team?
So differences in terms of human nature.
It can be anything. It towards the learning on the shoot, human nature, any kind of problem you face. Because when you're talking to 10 people, managing 10 people, building 10 people together or 15 people together, there are a lot of things which come up. So
Yeah.
how you manage those things?
So I usually do regular one-to-one with all of them. I keep communicating with them and try to know their problems. Try to know their problems with the other team members. Try to know their problems which is faced by in the office and everything. So I try to write down that points. I try to solve that problems. I try to solve them the conflicts between the team members and everything. Fortunately, I have a very good team who have a great bonding. So this has never happened to me actually. So I'm not aware about it, but hopefully they stay like this forever. So it's never happened to me actually. This is a nice question, but it's going smoothly till now.
That's great. That's great. So how you get inspired? Like what are your inspirations?
For the inspiration, I believe that inspiration can be anything. Yeah, you can learn from anything surrounding you. Your team members can be inspired you. Your music you listen can inspire you. The painting you watch it inspires you. So like inspiration is everything. I try to surf a lot on the internet. There's a lot of content on the internet right now, so you can read. I usually read a lot of the magazines for my inspirations, be it a photography magazines, be it a fashion magazine, be it a interior magazine. So I read a lot. I spend more time on the YouTube and magazines. So I try to inspire. Like I make a mood boards. I have a huge Pinterest mood board. So when I go blank, I just scroll down to my Pinterest 2 years, 3 years, because I am using Pinterest for 3 or 4 years. I have a mood board of every genre. I have mood board of graphic designing. I have mood board of let's say sources of the Photoshop brushes and everything. So in every segment, I have a mood boards, not just only in the photography. So sometimes a small thing can click on your part of a photography also. So it's not a necessary that only the photography and only the photographer can inspire the photographer. So that can be anything that can inspire you.
Definitely.
Like
So we can
Mohit,
have a question.
before we move on to the next question about what's in the bag, no, so I would like to take up the next question about like the tips wala. about tips for people who are currently joining in the industry.
Yes. So cheap, like okay. So what's it is like? I feel that there are lots of companies are coming in this digital era. Like lots of companies are making a new accounts and becoming wedding photography. But I would suggest that don't rush for that. Just analyze your work, analyze your client base, analyze your working style, analyze the market first. Don't rush into the things like चलो आज कैमरा ले लिया कल weddings चालू. This is the very toughest field and toughest industry to be in to and to survive. To open a company is not a big thing. To survive is a big thing. So over the years, you grow with the your team and everything. It's a very important. So don't rush into yourself. Just analyze everything. Analyze your work. Like कौन सी style में आपको काम करना है. Target your audiences and everything. It's a very basic important team that make a good portfolio and then approach different clients and everything. So don't rush into this photography thing. It takes time. It will take time. Like lots of people are asking me how do you develop your style, but it will take us 7 to 8 years to get into your style, get into your color tones, and get into your lighting. So it's not a sudden thing that will happen to you in a 1 or 2 years. So developing your style is also a time consuming thing. So give time, give consistency to everything, and it will happen good.
Yeah, even I believe the same, that one should first learn, because when you start doing something commercial, your learning take a second seat and you start doing more of work. So I think one
Yeah.
should invest on learning first, and over the period of time then start doing something. So
Yes.
Maulik, how your fashion photography helps you in wedding? Like, can you help us with your lighting setup? Like, your light setting is so strong when you do portrait.
Yes.
So how you
Sure.
achieve that result in the short
Uh,
span of time?
so okay, so a lighting I basically learned from a YouTube. So there was a time I just kept on watching lighting videos, and then I actually tried lighting. It was a way harder than YouTube shows. It's like a how to reading a how to swim book. Like you will not get realized until you fall into the swimming pool. So it's lighting is basically lots and lots of the practice. So my wedding work is more inspired by the fashion thing, fashion lighting and everything. My wife is also fashion stylist, so like
Wow.
we are from the same field. So it's very comfortable to have a companion with the same thing. So over the year, from the very beginning, I am very much interested into fashion photography. Like as I told you, wedding photography was an accident for me, and fashion is my basic interest. But I kept on exploring when I am free. Like I have a huge portfolio of fashion photography also, and that we will see also. And lighting, I want to break down some of my pictures also.
Sure.
I can share the screen and
Definitely. So
I will break down some of my
before we
images.
go ahead, what is the Syndicate Junior? So Dushyant is over here.
Yeah, Dushyant is here. I don't know Syndicate Junior. Okay. Dushyant is pulling my leg, I think.
Perfect.
Okay, so we can break down some of my images, and I have some BTS of that also that we can share this. See my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first shot. Like sometimes it happened that the location is not that too great. The
So
decor is not too.
before we go ahead, I would like to give a disclaimer to our viewers that what you are gonna see over here now, gonna be something really amazing. So don't be like, yeah, ये कैसे click किया है? Everything will be explained. Just have some patience, and everything will be in over here.
Okay, so like this is a shot we taken in the banquet hall because there was a no deco part. There was no space to create anything, something new, something out of the box. So this is the. Can you see my cursor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the glass behind the food counter. So like outside of this glass, there was a little space where couple can stand, and I just placed my flash something here. So this is the glass. This is my flash with the orange gel, and glass was having a little that crystal texture of it.
Right.
There was a lots of little crystals in the glass. And this lighting setup is very simple. There's a small god of splash and behind the couple with the orange gel, and it's shot with the 85 mm. That's it. It's a simple setup,
Simple
but
thing. Yeah.
sometimes you need to explore your places. This is why the role of the exploring and scouting your location before the 15 and 20 minutes comes to play.
That's great.
So
Moving on
this
to
is
the next.
another
I'm
shot.
so curious to see all these behind the scenes. No.
So this is again the entry of the Sangeet banquet. So I just love this carpet, and I just wanted to use it anywhere in my picture. So I just love the carpets. It attracts me a lot
Texture.
when it comes to shoot. Like I take lot of ground shots and everything. So this carpet I wanted to use somewhere, and there was a lot of disco balls hanging in the entrance of the Sangeet. So told my teammate to get all these disco balls from it was on a height. So he pulled out the chair and took a permission from the decor because we need to. So this was almost the end of the event. So we took out all the disco balls, kept in together. And this is the lead by Godot's octabox, 80 centimeter octabox with the grid. So we can have a better control of the light only on the couple, because I don't want to spill lights anywhere. And you can see here, like I kept some balls in my hand also.
Right.
Sorry. So I kept some balls in my hand also to give a glare effect here, and I can avoid some LED lights and some unwanted objects from that also. That will give a nice effect and also hide your unwanted
Foreground.
things.
Great.
Nice.
So this is again not lit by anything, but this is again a play of a post production. So the black part, which is on the left side of the bride, is a curtain. So basically curtain, and the gray. It was a gray curtain. And the right side is a open a window light. Like I just pulled my expose a little bit of that. This part will go a little bit blown off, and this part I did it in the post production. So sometimes it is better to have a visualization of the post production also. Like मेरे साथ बहुत बार ऐसे होता है कि मैं पोस्ट प्रोडक्शन पे ज्यादा क्रिएटिव इमेजेस निकाल पाता हूँ. Like sometimes it is not planned. This image was not planned at all. But when I came on the editors, I realized ये ऐसे हो सकता है, ये ऐसे monochrome images हो सकते हैं. This is where post productions come to play.
You
And even
used
the
a
person who
cut light
shoots
over
it,
here?
it's good.
Sorry,
The person who shoots it, the person who shoot it, वही edit करे तब better
Yeah,
है.
exactly.
Because
Yes,
the edit is not
exactly.
able to understand your vision.
Understand? Yes, exactly.
Like,
वो normally edit कर देगा, but it
Yeah.
will not understand the vision behind the
Exactly.
why this capture.
So you used a cut light over here, right?
There is no cut light. There is no lighting here. There is only the ring light here
Ring
of
light,
the
yeah.
makeup artist on this left side,
Oh.
and this is a normal window light. So this is lit by ring light normally
So
of the makeup
the
artist.
basics, just playing with the basics only, we can get some amazing pictures.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Great.
So it is not about the light and the implement. It is how you use the light.
Exactly. Agreed.
So this is again this is shot by Ayush, my teammate. But this is again in the back of the couple. There is an octabox. So we converted into the circle in the post production, and this all dots are the past of like it's a part of our Sangeet entrance. It was a small LED lights.
Nice.
I don't have a BTS of this
So
unfortunately,
basically,
but
this is, like you are saying, this is two shots merged together, right?
not too short much, because this was a part, like there was a black backdrop, there was LEDs on it, and we kept the octabox behind the couple.
Okay.
And then octabox we converted into the circle in the post production. It will look more organized and more appealing.
Right. Possibly just the bottom of the couple has been photoshopped.
Yeah, thoda dark kiya hai, like it's
हाँ.
dodging and burning.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's great, yeah. The mindset behind the image only is great, which is able to bring up this sort of an image.
So basically, what Maulik is able to help to tell us is here is कि जहाँ पर हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं है, then also we can create a lot of amazing images,
Yeah.
like keeping small things in my mind. Basically, it's all about light play.
You can use any small elements and create amazing images with the light play only.
Yeah.
So this is again disco balls wala shot. Like there is a mirror in behind the bride. You can see like it's a capture from the videos. It's a little bit blurry, but the whole video is in on my Instagram. So again, I kept the balls in front of my lenses because I just wanted to avoid this LED lights and these grass things because it was a very distracting thing to come into the images. So I kept three disco balls here, so that covers all of my this frame thing. And this
Perfect.
is normally lit by the LED lights which was available. So there is no external light used here.
Nice. That's very nice.
Okay. So this is again example of a very basic location and a good photograph. So there was a plain white room where I was shooting here. Like bride was getting like she was almost ready, was waiting for her barat. So she was waiting in her room, and there was no such good textured wall or something in her room. I decided to play with the jazz, so I can pull out the colors or something else. So there is a simple setup. I don't have a BTS of it, but bride is holding a flash like this. Like can you see me right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, bride is holding a flash with a red gel like this and looking this side. So I just captured with the 85 and there's a spill of a red light reflects from the white wall and give it a nice silhouette thing.
Really nice.
Yeah,
So this is what even we want to tell our viewers and the budding photographers, that it's not about amazing venues or the grandeurs. It's about keeping things simple. It's about understanding the light. It's about understanding the mood. And if you keep things simple, you are able to get really good results, right? So this is what people should understand.
yes. So this is again from the same wedding. So this is these tubes are a part of a Sangeet entrance. So this is again multiple exposure shot because to fit in the couple and the decor part was a little bit tricky. So we shot the background like this foreground first, and then we lit up the couple in the black background, and we shot them and just merged them together in the negative space.
Really beautiful.
Yeah.
Even I love this. The way you use your foreground is always amazing. Like you
Yes.
always
Yes.
keep
So
something in your foreground.
it was a very taken from the height. So like my foreground is a little bit blurred, like the foreground cube is a little bit blurred, and this goes downside. Like it was a slant like
Maulik,
this.
how were you able to light up all these the decor elements so well? Uh,
It was lit up already. It was lit up. It was a neon setup, so it was lit
oh,
up by that ultraviolet lights.
right.
So there is no external lights unless the couple is lit by the eyesight only.
Oh, great.
Yeah. This is again part of a decor, but I used fractal filters here.
Ah.
So one of my teammate brought a fractal filters, and I just wanted to try and explore. So there was a lots of LED lights here, and I just hold in front of my lenses. And this hard bouquet was created in the post, so it will give us some love effect.
Okay, so during my beginning years in photography, so I used to watch these tutorials on YouTube and all. तब ना वहाँ पे
Uh,
I still remember there was a tutorial on how to create these shade bouquets, in which
yeah,
people used to cut a piece on a cardboard
cut the
and use
yeah
it in the front of the lens. So this reminded me of that. कि हाँ,
yes.
So Prashant, what you can see in all the pictures, how Maulik has used all the basics of photography so well to create amazing pictures. Like
amazing. Yeah.
all the basic which we have learned in the initial stages have been used so well in all the pictures.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, I totally love it. You know how things have been played with over here, and like basic images, but really good. And
Yes,
not only the possibly if, like the edited versions, may the toning that he has given and the way
the
he has
mood.
edited those, it's so soothing.
Yes,
Got no idea how, but
Thank you,
it's
Prashant.
really good.
So this is taken under the pressure, like when you have no time, you have only 5 minutes. The bride is rushing, jaldi karo. So this is taken from that time. So this is the normal cupboard thing in behind her, and I had only 5 minutes to capture a good bridal portrait for her because it was a Marwadi wedding and it got too late. for some reasons because थोड़ा थोड़ा वो delay चल रहा था. So it was too hurried shot. So I just kept my single light just from the side and I just changed my angle. When you lit up any subject, just try to like roam around your subject. Just try to roam around and your subject and just read the light. How light affects from the different angle from the same source. So this I lit up the bride and I just shifted little bit on this side and I just got this image. It creates very heritage of a kind of thing, the background and everything. And I just got played with the white balance only in the editing. That's it.
That's great.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting image. So this shot I got after the wedding is over and bride and groom was very tired. And I just wanted to pull out this shot. So I just googled this image from this banquet. So this is this part of the banquet. So you can see the LED squared entrance. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is taken here. So this is basically single exposure shot. And then वो पूरा blackout कर दिया था मैंने तब तक mag mode use करके and then I black out so only the LED strip of the light and the couple is lit up and then everything is black out and then I just copied that LED strip just rotate it and just made the 3D kind of thing.
Imagination is what it needs.
Yeah. Because there was no other place to get a 3D portrait in this banquet so I have to do this something with the lights only. But this is again taken in the hotel passage. Like this is where my fashion lighting comes to play. Like I always love single detail images, the low key effects and everything. So this is just a wall of a hotel passage in behind the groove, and I again just lit up with a single ice light. So I majorly use wand lights and ice lights for the lighting thing. I rarely use flash. I use flash, but when I have plenty of time to explore the exposures and setting up things. Because usually wedding में क्या होता है कि सब थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी में होता है तो I usually try to keep my lighting setup as minimal as possible that with the less trial and error thing. Otherwise, I just keep my flash and setup ready and then I call the couple. So you can save much time and get more shots.
Great.
Yeah, so these are the images, like few images.
I really loved each and every image that was showcased over here. No kidding.
Thank you for that.
No kidding.
So, Maulik, can you help us? Like, there is one question from just a second. We have one question coming up. Like, from Meet. So, he's
Okay.
asking, share some incident you felt amazing or worst in client's wedding.
Amazing and was amazing. I always feel amazing when client value your work, praise your work, and everything. Like every client is precious for us, and there's no such particular incidents I recall right now. But worst I felt many times. Many times when client complains, I feel worst. I feel broken sometimes. But as I told you, I overcome from my mistakes and I learned everything from my negative feedbacks. Take it positively and note down the things you can do it to improve it. And yeah, worst I felt many times when client gives you negative feedbacks.
And you have already told that how you take those feedback to upskill your work.
Yes.
So, Prashant, do you have any other question from your side?
No, like questions need just work that I am astonished to see over here. Cause like I love to, light up my subjects my way, but the way you done it, it's altogether different. Altogether different, and I really loved it. No kidding.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I would
you.
just love to see more of it, daily. Cause it's this is something I really resonate with. Ki, this is something that I want in my work to be like something about lights, about the gameplay, about these things. It's all
Yes,
crazy good.
I think at the best time Maulik can start putting on the stories and we can learn through it, right, Maulik?
yeah. I always love to share my insights and my videos and everything, and I just try to keep it very frequent on my stories and everything.
Jignesh is asking here how you are so organized.
There is in my like it's my nature basically. You can call my OCD or something, but it's my in my nature. Like if I am unorganized, I feel bad about myself only. So I try to keep my things organized as possible. I kept on organizing my hard disk every day and every day. Like I have a 50, 60 hard disks that I keep on tracking, keep on checking data and keep Excel sheets and everything. So it is a part of my life. Like it's my nature. So I am organized in that way. Okay,
So
so as you told Prashant, I can show you some of my commercial work also.
yeah,
Please, yeah,
please.
please,
Yeah,
please. I
so
would
we
love to.
can, yeah. So I do commercial work from around 2 or 3 years maybe, and I shoot for the architectural interior, also the products, and like for the like last year I shot for the hoardings and everything. So gradually it's going on good. Uh, can you see my slide, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
before
So
we go into the commercial thing, I have one question for you. How much, like the in the previous the slides that you showcased the wedding work, how much of time do you invest in post processing, and how much is in with like while capturing itself?
okay, so my post processing part is very minimal. Like I have like we have over the years developed a particular presets for our site. So my post processing is very minimal. Like I try to capture as much as in the camera, but yeah, I show you that the image for the curtain wala thing. So
Mm-hmm.
ऐसी कोई भी images होती है particular, I spend like around 30 minutes 45 minutes to tweak it on my own. So not more than 30 minutes I spend on single image because I'm not a patient person at all to spend hours and hours in the post processing. So that's not me. So maximum time I spend on single images is 30 minutes maximum. If I am tweaking something,
And in
if I'm not
commercial
tweaking
work,
something, there is just add a little bit of vignette, correct the white balance, exposure, anything, and I am done.
and what about the commercial work?
Commercial work, usually I used to edit my commercial work before, but I do have a in-house retoucher, professional
Right.
retoucher now. So because each and every fashion and commercial image takes 3 to 4 hours to get
It
ready, and
needs a lot of work. Yeah,
yeah, so I hired a separate person for it now.
great.
Yeah. So this is the shot 2 3 years back. This is for the local township here. This is the entirely sample house shot,
Mm.
like architecture photography. It was a very new for me that time because I was not into the architecture and interior. This is my
Mm-hmm.
first project ever shooting as an architecture photographer. So I have a shot of 4 or 5 different images in this segment, and they went onto the hoardings and everything all over the city.
That's great.
Yeah. So this is again I shot this year only. This shot for White Crow store here. This held by Reliance only. So the normal architecture, but I tried to keep perspective here a little bit on the wider side because I want to show more breathing space over for the advertising and everything.
Hmm.
So I didn't follow the lines rules here, as you can see.
So most of the commercial work that you are like showcasing in terms of the interiors and the exteriors work, they to happen on natural light itself.
Yeah, most of the architecture work I try to keep in natural, but we have shot interiors and architecture with the strobes also. But it's a very patientful task. You can shoot only 1 or 2 images throughout the
Right.
day. So
It takes a
these
lot of
things we have to
time to
do.
adjust the
Yeah,
every light.
it depends on the project and the project brief. How much we have to get into the thing. So this is again shot for the optics brand here, local optics brand.
That's
So
great.
this is again shot in the studio only.
Hmm.
So this is my experimental part when I'm not doing anything in the weddings or fashion. I do shoot products in my studio. I try to experiment with the different kinds of lighting and how any subjects and how any objects reacts to light, reflects light. So this is how I learned and explore the lighting things.
And I think this is the right time. The lockdown time is a
Yeah,
great time for people to experiment on this. Like
yeah,
whosoever is
exactly.
having a camera at their homes can please shoot these objects and master your lighting. plays an
Yes.
important role.
So this is again played with the lighting, but this is a merge of a three shots basically. So this is a three exposure shot merged into the one, and the background is of course edited, but the wine bottle itself shot with the three multiple exposures. So we in the first we expose only the this side, second is we expose only this side, and third we expose this much this label and this
Yeah.
cork of the bottle.
Great.
This is one like commercial shot I have taken for the brand Monte Santa. So they have a concept of getting a Santa at your home. So you can request on their website that there are different packages of Santa that comes to your home only and entertain your kids and everything. This is shot for that
Nice.
particular brand. This is again for the optics brand.
This is a 2-point lighting, I believe.
Yes, this is 2 point lighting. So one is like from this side you can see
Yeah,
there is
the
a rim
highlights,
light and the one
the
is
base light
opposite the big octabytes on
with
the
the
front.
reflector.
Yeah,
Great.
this is again for the brands again. So this is it. There is a summary of my few commercial work.
I'm loving it even more.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Maulik, how you can tell people like if they want to get into the commercials, so how can they approach towards?
The basic for commercial photography is a portfolio basically because you have to approach agencies for the commercial work because you cannot get directly to the big clients and tell this is my portfolio and give me the work because they always work to keep the agency in the loop because their creatives, their advertising thing, their marketing all handles by agency. So you need a powerful portfolio for the commercial work also. Just kept on trying the products you have like I did with the Daniel Willington. Just pick up the basic objects surrounding you, just try to capture it in a different way, try to present it in a different way. For example, if you have an airport, so how just think how you can lit up the airport, how you can recreate the apple's brand advertising and everything. So you need to develop your portfolio with the experimenting because uh, if you are shooting a wedding, if you shot one wedding, you have plenty of 5 to 10 images of portfolio. But in commercial, you cannot do any experiment on the brand. So you have to play with your surrounding objects, surrounding things, and just master yourself in the lightings and everything. And just made a 10 or 15 images of a good portfolio and then approach to the agencies and everything.
Great. So yeah, Jignesh is saying that Maulik is more stronger in commercial than weddings.
Yeah. Yes, like my main interest is commercial and fashion, and maybe after the 5 or 10 years, I will be more into the commercial and fashion. Maybe this is my right goal right now. So let's see now what happens.
Okay. And who shot your wedding? And when?
My wedding was in 2016, and my wedding was shot with 12 or 13 photographers of my like team. And there was so many photographers were there in my. मैं जहाँ भी देखूँ वहाँ पे एक photographer. मैं जहाँ पे देखूँ वहाँ पे एक photographer. And like there was a plenty of team, and my room was filled with the equipment. Like मेरे room में मेरे को सोने की जगह नहीं थी. Like there was all equipment, laptops and data backups and everything. So like my entire team, which is right now I'm working with shot my wedding. Dushyant was there. So yeah, it was Dushyant's second wedding, I think. So we met like a few days back before my wedding only. So they all shot my wedding, and there is plenty of images. मैंने अभी तक सभी images नहीं देखे मेरे wedding की.
So how was your experience with that? The entire team and everything revolving around. How was it?
Yeah, it was a kind of different experience, like not working in the wedding because when I attend a wedding as a guest, also I feel awkward sometimes. So like it was a quite like, but all are my teammates are my friends, like best friends. They are working at the daytime and partying at the
Uh,
nighttime with me. So it's a fun experience always. They are never part of like a professional photography team. So I just got my video after 3 years. I just got because time ही नहीं मिला था अभी तक edit करने को. So I just got my video. I just saw it. So
Someone mentioned it in the
मैं
chat कि अब तक video नहीं मिली. So yeah,
Yeah, I just got the video. That's why.
perfect, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you one thing. Like, just slipped out of my mind though.
Okay.
Uh, anyways,
Okay.
huh. So yeah, coming to this question, ki about after like we seen two categories of your works. So like, what is in your bag now? Like, what is in your kit? What are the basics and what are the add-ons that you take along always?
This is my favorite subject to discuss actually as a gear. So yes, my bag consists of two cameras primarily. Initially, I was shooting with A7R2 Sony, and I just recently bought R3, upgraded to R3 because R3 is R2 like R2 is pretty slow now. I felt R2 is pretty slow, so R3 is more faster in terms of joystick and everything handling. So. Uh, 3 years back, I was a Canon user, and then I just tried my hands on a Sony, and I was so much attracted by the live focus thing, and I instantly switched to the Sony. Like, ये तो मस्त है, ये तो इसका ही मजा है इसमें. Right, because at that time the live focus thing was a very new, and I was planning to upgrade from the 60 at that time.
Hmm.
So there was only one option, that is 5D Mark IV or to Sony. And that time I didn't have a budget for a 5D Mark IV. I switched to Sony. I initially I used Canon lenses on it, and then I shifted entirely to the Sony now. So I use A7 III, A7R3 as a primary camera. My favorite lenses are 35-85 primarily, Zeiss and Sony. I mostly shoot with the 85 in the weddings. Sometimes I shoot with the 55. But my favorite go-to lens is 85, like for the portraits and everything, because I come from the fashion background, so let's always
Tele.
I'm the tele
Tele is
guy. Yeah.
always in.
So when I'm shooting with the two bodies, I use combination of 35-85 or a 24-55. So apart from this, I keep in my bag like my double straps, my flash. My lighting equipment consists of two 860 flash of Godox,
Hmm.
basic. One 600D when I'm shooting outdoors or shooting in a broad day, shooting a fashion. 600D is a great option. It's a great power. 8200 I shoot for the portability and everything. And for a modifier, I use the 80 centimeter octabox only. That is my favorite octabox. And when I'm shooting commercial, I use the 120 centimeters sometimes. But
Along with
octabox
ice
is my
lights.
favorite. Yeah.
Along with ice lights. Though.
Yeah, ice lights are there.
Lot
Like,
of
there are 3 or 4 ice lights I use, like for the colored ones also. And I recently bought the Godox one with the bandol,
Yeah,
so
with the
it will
bando
give
and the
a better
younger ones.
control with the lights. Yeah. So there are 3 ice lights I use, and that's it. Yeah, and some laptops and iPads, and as I'm a geek, like I gizmo freak. So
That's great. That's great. So guys, that was Maulik Patel for you. And Mohit, over to you.
So it was amazing listening to you, Maulik. Like this is for the first time everyone is listening to you, and it was amazing experience.
yes, yes,
So
same here.
learned a lot regarding the lights, and
I'm तो
definitely it's going
definitely
to help
gonna
us
get
a
in
lot.
touch with you. Like
Sure,
अभी तक
sure,
बात
Prashant,
नहीं हुई थी
anytime.
इसलिए था कि I don't know this
Yes,
guy, but
exactly,
now that
exactly.
I've been in touch with you, तो great.
Sure, anytime,
So
anytime.
much.
And thanks
Perfect.
for having me on this platform. Thanks a lot, guys.
It was our pleasure, totally. And guys, tomorrow we at the same time at 8 o'clock we'll be having Milan and Abhishek from Q Media. So they are again amazing people from Surat itself and from Ahmedabad, I believe.
Yeah, Surat, Surat.
Yeah, from Surat itself. And so yeah, talking about again cinema week we have. So yeah, talking about cinema they'll be doing, and that's it. So that was Photopedia for you, and this is Maulik Patel here.
Thank you.
Great,
Thanks, guys. Bye.
perfect. Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Maulik. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Maulik.
again.
Thank you.
Bye.